Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to week 4 of OS 330. We're moving right along here. We only have a couple of weeks left. So I hope everybody has been paying attention and taking notes here and working on your performance improvement plan. Uh, I've been providing some feedback as we're moving along here. I think right now you probably made it through the hardest part of a performance improvement plan, and that is the actual assessment. So we make a 1 through 5 scale. Let's say I want to assess feedback, right? Or not feedback, let's use communications. That's a common one, right? The ability to communicate. And I say, 1 through 5, 5 exceeding standards, 1 well below standards, 3 being average. Okay, so what do those numbers mean? It's quantifiable there, right? 1 through 5. If you get a 5, you've done really well. So what does that mean, though, for communications? That I can answer the phones, that I can speak clearly in coherent sentences. Well, I don't know. It's up to you in your performance management. That's why I gave some people some feedback. I said, hey, this needs to be refined some more so you understand what these numbers mean so the employee has, some feedback to say, okay, well, maybe I am not communicating effectively because I only got scored a 4, and a 4 means that, people are on hold on the phone greater than a minute, for instance, or I do not take good notes and summarize meetings appropriately like I should be, or perhaps I say a lot during presentations. So that's why that to me is the hardest part of a performance management plan. Now we're moving along here, so don't forget. Yeah, I mean, I hope you're working on developing your performance management plan and putting this all together. I put 2 examples up there I think it was on week 3, and that is what your performance management plan should look like. That is your final project for this course. That's worth 30% of your grade, if I remember right from the syllabus, but refer to the syllabus always. So this week, in week 4, excuse me, I got an itch here, right? So week 4, here's what we're talking about here: 360 assessments, right? We've talked about mentoring and coaching a bit, but now we're going to talk about 360 assessments. And what does that mean? Well, this is, how you get feedback as a manager. A 360 assessment is a tool that generally it comes with a counseling or a coaching or a mentorship program where the person wanting feedback sends it out to peers, subordinates, superiors, and they provide feedback on your performance. There's some issues with this. I think it's a very valuable tool. But one of the issues is if I wanted feedback on Dave's performance, who am I going to send it to? I'm going to send it to my friends. That's a bias, right? I have a bias. I'm going to send it to people that I know, people that like me, and stuff like that. So, am I getting actual feedback? Good feedback? Probably not. So this is something to think about with 360 feedbacks. Many of you have probably participated in a 360 feedback where you have given feedback to a superior, uh, and it's hopefully anonymous. There are some companies that do this officially, like you know. There's one that we call that I do. It's called the Leadership Performance Indicator (LPI), and anyways, it comes with a huge report based on leadership principles, and I provide a 1 hour coaching session to senior naval officers on their performance, along with, if you've ever done like a personality profile like the Myers-Briggs, I will give both of those to say, hey, maybe based on your personality, of being very introverted, this is why people are saying you're detached as a leader. So you can see the value there. Now, of course, those cost money. So this is what I did for you, right? I provided a hyperlink. Now, this is not a course requirement, but I think it's a valuable tool and something that you can use. And this is a kind of a free 360 based on what's called the Johari window. And I'm going to explain this tool to you. The Johari window, it stands, or Johari, excuse me, and it's spelled Johari, and it stands for Jerry Luft and Harry Ingrams. And there were two psychiatrists in the 1950s. They designed this at the University of Berkeley. And actually, Jerry Luft just recently died. Believe it or not, yeah, he was in his 90s and he got hit by a car, sadly, crossing the road in Berkeley, California. So here's what the Johari window does, right? And I got my little whiteboard of power here. What it says is when we look at behaviors, right, we are a window. We have behaviors that are known to self. We have behaviors that are unknown to self. We have behaviors that are known to others and behaviors that are unknown to others. So if I am exhibiting a behavior that is known to self and known to others, this is called my public domain. So let's say I talk with my hands. I have a bad New England accent. I know this. So do you, right? So together we can work on this. I know this behavior. But let's say down here, if I have behaviors that are known to self, but unknown to others. This is called my private domain. There may be some things I don't want to share with you or I don't exhibit. So let's say maybe I have a learning disability. Maybe I'm dyslexic. Maybe, and you don't know it. I've been able to cover it all these years. How about if I, religious beliefs? I don't want to, show my my religious practices and beliefs in public. So this could be a private domain. Sensuality. We don't want to share that. These are private. So these are things I'm not sharing. Okay. Next one, unknown to self, known to others. Blind spots. This area. Now, this area, this can get us into a lot of trouble because I don't know these behaviors that I'm doing, but you do. Perhaps I have a bias. Perhaps I'm showing it. Perhaps you see it. I don't know it. Perhaps I do these verbal connectors. I say a lot. I don't realize it. You do. The only way to get better here is through feedback, right? If I don't know I'm doing something, I cannot correct the behavior. That's our blind spots. And then this last area, unknown to self and unknown to others. This is the huge unknown area, right? So what this is, these are things I don't know how I'm going to act. I wouldn't describe myself, as this way, and neither would you. I don't know how I'm going to act if I had a fire in the building because I've never had a fire in the building. When I panic, I don't know, So the goal of this, right, is feedback, of course, to make things more public. So it's known to you and it's known to myself. That way I can work on these behaviors if they need work. And when I say public, I don't mean to run up and down the street saying, hello, I have biases or anything like that. No, it means that you have a trusted coach, a trusted mentor, a confidant that you can work with to say, hey, if I do this, give me some feedback on this. So this tool, this online tool, and I think you'll find it interesting because I liked it. And it's totally free. So here's how it works, right? This Johari window online tool. And this is where the Johari window really comes in powerfully. So let's say there's a list of, let's say, 20 adjectives to describe yourself. And it asks you, hey, how would you describe yourself? Pick 5. So you pick 5. Let's say I describe myself as, you know, bearded, yeah, right. Uh, let's say enthusiastic. I can describe myself as religious. I describe myself as intelligent. I describe myself as funny and humorous. Okay, so there's 5. So what it does is it highlights those and it automatically puts those traits into known to self. You just described yourself as that, right? Known to self. Now it asks you to email as many people as you want, and it gives them the same adjectives. So you send this now to, let's say, 20 people, and it asks, how would you describe David? Pick 5 adjectives. And then they start filling it out, right? And they describe me as intelligent, funny, as a, I don't know, I'll make some up, as a butthead, as rude, as obnoxious. Ah, so now it highlights and it says, hey, 3 people described you as intelligent. So you're showing this to other people. However, 5 people said you were rude. I didn't describe myself as rude, but others did. That's a blind spot. So this is where the power comes in. And like I said, it's a free online tool. You can use it, as a little 360 for yourself. Uh, I didn't put it as a requirement. I didn't say, hey, to talk about it in the discussion board. But if you did, I would like to hear. Was there anything eye-opening there? Okay, so back to this week. We're reading chapter 7 and 8. This is on implementing your performance management plan. After you've written this and you've come up with it, implementing it is a big deal. How to communicate it to the unions, to your stakeholders, to the employees, to management. This is actually very important. The union may have a very serious issue with how you are evaluating people. I know somebody in the classroom works in the school system, and I've had the discussion with her about instructor evaluations. Because there's been a lot of pushback in some school districts on how teachers are evaluated. Imagine that here you are a junior in high school and you are providing feedback to your instructor on their performance. How valuable is that performance? And that person's career may be, dependent on it. So yeah, it can be very temperamental and very sensitive. I know that I probably would not have given my junior Latin teacher, because I hated having to take that class, uh, very good feedback. I probably would not have, because I was immature. So yeah, we have a couple of case studies just like last week and discussion boards to do. I think there's only one discussion board this week. Case study 7.1 and 8.1. Also, there's some people that have some missing assignments. I put zeros in the grade book so you can identify what you are missing. Get those in. We have some classmates who have some family issues. It's not a good time. COVID's going around. But please get those in. Okay. If you have any questions, please contact me. And that's all I got. Okay. Dave out.